If you're looking to buy a home, you are in the best city to do so. Houston has been named the healthiest housing market for 2013. It's because our city had strong job growth, low vacancy rates, and very few foreclosures. Joining us this morning to talk more about the housing market here in Houston is Steve Davis. He's a real estate investor from Lifestyles Unlimited VP. Thank you so much for being here.
Good to be here.
Let's talk a little bit about the housing market in Houston and why we are consistently so healthy in this part of the country.
Well, we talk about it a lot in the fact that I knew Texas was going to lead us out of the recession, and it's doing so. And it's basically because of the conservative mindset of Texans. In a lot of the states, you saw the greater fool theory, where they literally, no matter who paid what for a property, there was always a greater fool to pay more for it, and they'd appraise it that way. We didn't do that in Texas. We kept our appraisals down. That's why we saw less of a collapse than they saw throughout the rest of the country. And then it's also because this is capitalism at its best. You're seeing companies come in producing products that help and serve other people, which is producing jobs. And there's high quality construction in Houston. There's just a multitude of reasons.
Now, across the nation, low interest rates are certainly going to help people who want to buy a home this year. But specific to our market here in the greater Houston area, what else will help people who are trying to buy a home?
I think even though they're talking about there being fewer foreclosures than the rest of the country, there's still a large number. So I don't want people to get too optimistic about the recovery. It's coming. It's not if it's coming, it's when it's coming.
Sure.
It is on the way. But there's still a tremendous amount of opportunity. My students are buying properties 20 and 30% below market. So if a person is getting ready to buy a home or an investment property, now's the time to do it.
And you may want to consider a foreclosure property if you're going to do so.
Absolutely.
What are some things you need to keep in mind, though, if you do purchase a foreclosure property of any nature? Because there are some specific legal things that you're going to want to make sure are straightened out before you make that purchase.
Well, the truth is the title company will take care of all of that. There's really not much that a person has to worry about except for the rehab costs. What they want to do is make sure that from the time they sign that contract till the end of their inspection period, during that period where they can still back out and get their earnest money back, I want them to have written bids for all of the repairs that they want to do to the house to make sure that they're not overpaying for the house. Many people get excited because they buy the property 20% below market, and let's say it's a $100,000 house and they buy it for $80,000. But they have to put $30,000 into rehab. Well, they've actually effectively paid $110,000 for a $100,000 house. So you've got to know your numbers. You should educate yourself before buying a home.
A lot of people are afraid of buying foreclosure properties and thinking that they may get into some sort of legal battle over who actually owns the house. That's not necessarily true.
No, not at all. The title company will take care of you on that.
Okay. Something to do with selling. People are always trying to get the best price for their home. They want to price it accurately, but they also want to get the most for their money. In this particular climate, what's the best strategy there?
To have a clean, well taken care of property, put it on the market at full price, and you're probably going to get it. It's not going to sell in 2 weeks or a month. I just saw stuff selling 2 months and so on. And be patient. The right buyer will find your house over time, and you'll be able to get the top dollar for it in today's market, I think.
And we are in, I understand, the top 5 places for real estate. Looks like we are number 1. San Francisco's 2, Bethesda, Rockville, Frederick, the Maryland area, San Antonio, and then Austin, surprisingly 5th on that list. What is it about Austin that makes it in the top 5 with us?
I think it's beautiful. I go out there, and it's got the rolling hills. There's tons of stuff to do there. There's the great university there, obviously. There's a lot of things going for Austin, but if you'll notice, there's multiple Texas cities in that top 10. And that is just another indication that Texas is just a wise state. The people of Texas are wiser when it comes to money than the rest of the country as a rule.
All right, another way that we're the best. Thanks, Steve.
Yes.
Appreciate that so much.
You're welcome.
For more on Houston's housing market or to see this interview again, just go to our website, abc13.com/info.